All right. We are ready for our next session here. We're going to be diving into a weird and wildly effective strategy for winning attention in B2B, and that's through micro shows. And we're going to be hosting a live Q&A at the end of this session too, so make sure you submit your questions, upvote your favorites, all that good stuff. To get us started, I want to introduce Travis Tyler, the man, the myth, the legend. Travis, join me on stage. He is the senior social media manager at Motion and the mastermind behind character-led content in B2B. He does anything from absurdist personas to repeatable skits. And I would say that every single one of them is amazing. A big fan. And he's really carved out a lane that few others, I think, are driving in, but absolutely should be. So, Travis, welcome, sir. And can we talk about this amazing get up that you got going on over there?
Dude, thank you for the warm welcome. Welcome, campers. I'll be having some fun guiding you through some ghost stories today. And yeah, going all in on the commitment to the bit here. I have prepared some really cool examples to show you. We're going to watch together. But yeah, I think there's so much opportunity here in LinkedIn, and there has been for a while. And only a few people have given what I'm about to show you guys a shot. But I hope at the end of this presentation that this inspires people to let their freak flag fly and to just be more memorable in a space that is very bland at times.
So bland, man. I mean, there's not even salt on that chicken. I mean, let's get into it, dude. You are the person to be leading this session. I'm so excited for this just as a listener. So everybody, let's pay attention to this one, man. I'm excited to see what we get into.
Right on. Cool. Well, I've got my slide deck up here. Let me go ahead and full screen this bad boy. All right, so I am Travis Tyler, and if you're not connected with me on LinkedIn, I really want to encourage you to, just because I've spent the last 5 or 6 years just trying to have some fun, guys. The world is a heavy, heavy place, and today and this weekend more than ever. And I'm not over here ignoring that, but I learned a long time ago that if you're not having fun and you're not enjoying what you're doing, maybe you need to take a step back and reflect and do something different. So it's not just all fun and games for me. It's not just playing dress up. I've actually helped my two previous employers gain over 100,000 social followers and hopefully become instantly recognizable logos in their respective spaces. I've also worked with dozens of different B2B companies to try to inject some fun and levity into what it is they do, including Panadoc, my current employer, Motion, HubSpot, Vidyard, list goes on and on. And I think that the stance that I've tried to take with micro shows and micro content is I like to look at the situation and be like, how can I do something different? I've always been that way. And this can make for really effective marketing, because while everyone is trying to sound super smart and polished and impressive with what they post about, either on their personal account or on their brand account, I've been creating weirdos for the last 5 or 6 years. And to my left, I've got a closet full of costumes, mostly from Amazon, that have just led to a lot of great brand recall over the years. And I think fundamentally, there is something broken, without using that trope of a sentence, but I think fundamentally, LinkedIn did run a study a couple of years ago, the LinkedIn B2B Institute, and that found that over 3/4 of creative fails to make an impact. That's pretty bad, guys. And it's only going to get worse with an oversaturation of the scale that AI is going to unlock, where people are just going to be like, nope, I'm logging out, because one, I couldn't take the boring content from humans. I'm certainly not going to take boring content from an AI. So what I'm here to teach today is, when it comes to your micro shows, you really need to dial up the emotion. And the emotion can be fun. It can be pain. It can be any different psychological emotion out there. But let's dive into what a micro show is, because that's what you guys came to learn about, right? So I used Claude to write bullet number 1. Okay. I was like, I need a definition. A character-driven, serialized video format where recognizable personas deliver B2B insights through entertainment. Ah, cool. In the background, you'll see all of my lovely little characters that I've created over the years. And I wanted my own definition that came from my own brain, which is that a micro show can essentially be boiled down to any form of edutainment that prioritizes brand recall over corporate messaging. And here's where I think most people go wrong when it comes to generating micro show or short form content for social. They think I will take a long form webinar, as we're doing today, or a live streaming event, and I'm just going to chop it up into clips. And look, don't get me wrong, that is an effective strategy sometimes, but it shouldn't be everything. You just call it a day, wipe your hands, and walk away. That is how you create micro show content. My approach is twofold. The first one is going to be engineering the perfect soundbite or just creating some standalone character content. So that's number 2. So I've really got 2 formats here for how to create kind of like micro show attention grabbing content. So let's dive into the first one, which doesn't involve getting dressed up. Okay. This one is, you've got a big event, you're hosting a webinar, a summit, you're hosting some sort of live stream event, and you've got experts who are presenting really good content. They've worked their butts off. I spent hours on this presentation, guys. I spent hours on this outfit, okay? And you're just gonna like have this 45-minute like big old like webinar, and you're gonna throw it up on YouTube and call it a day. And that's not an effective strategy. We all know that, right? Here's what I do. When we have a really solid event at any company I've been to, I find the moments where the chat is going the most insane. And I go, okay, there's something here. I'm here at this live event. I'm watching this, and the chat is blowing up. And that means that there is probably a great soundbite somewhere in this moment. This is a topic people care about. And one of the things that you can do is pull your speakers after the event. So Drew might come to me and say, hey, Trav, loved, the presentation, had such a great time. Was wondering if you and I could do a quick like interview either on like a tool like Goldcast or on a tool like Riverside, or shoot, he's like, hey man, can you film yourself on your phone and send it to me? And I just want you to like get a really good line that just encapsulates your stance on that particular topic. And you'll get that clean, delivery. You'll get something that's more optimized for social media, and it won't require as much editing. Now, I love going into like, I'm going to plug Goldcaster. I love going into Content Lab, and I love like how much automation it brings to me, where it like auto summarizes like the different chapters of the event. And that's like super helpful. I can go in and like capture like a bunch of text and copy and paste it and create that into a micro clip. And then I want to say that there's another kind of way to do this. So we talked about like take your speakers, grab those really clutch moments that you found either in Goldcast or you saw and notated, like, oh, when Trav mentioned character DNA, the chat lit up. Or when Kirian mentioned, the VEO clip that got 2,000 likes on LinkedIn, the chat was going nuts. I want to grab that clip and I'm going to make it. Now, I spend an absolute disgusting amount of time as a social media manager on TikTok. And say what you will, you don't like the platform, you're missing out, and that's your loss. Especially as a marketer, it's a gold mine. It is hands down better than any other social media platform when it comes to micro show content. I would love to see in the chat here people who disagree. Go ahead and call yourself out as a geriatric millennial and how much you enjoy Instagram. Let's go and see it. I know you guys don't have it downloaded on your phone. I know you're not following anyone on TikTok. Yep, that's right. Calling it out. I'm going to show you some of my very favorite creators on TikTok, because I think that the comedians that you find on TikTok are going to be really great examples. And then I'm going to show you some of my examples, because I want you to walk away from this presentation today and I want you to be like, dang, I could do this for my brand. I could do this for my company. And this is the first one. So if I can actually like click, I don't know, am I able to click into these, Drew? If not, I can pull them up myself. But I really want to show the team these specific TikToks.
I would say if you can click on it, try. If not, you should be able to just maybe share your screen too and try it that way too if you've got it pulled up.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Hold on. Okay, so this first one is from Missy. I've got the wrong title on the earlier slide, but if you're not following Missy on TikTok, she is fantastic. Her handle is because I'm Missy. Okay, now let's watch this together. I hope you guys can hear it.
I can't be your man. I'm sorry, she a f***ing fan. I get bread.
Get ready with me to go to the Boston Tea Party. Your girl has had smallpox. All men are created equal,
You know it.
even non-whites.
Am I the jerk for taxing people without representation? I, a 45-year-old male Pisces, am an avid...
Okay, so let me go ahead and just stop sharing that one. So go back to the slides here. So what I think Missy does a really good job of, she's got multiple characters. She gets dressed up in costume. She's got this like very distinct and unique and yet consistent format. So what you guys saw there was POV if TikTok existed in colonial times. And she's just kind of like using this like fun video editing animation to like mimic the TikTok scroll. I've never seen that before. And then now I've seen a bunch of people replicate it. But she's got nearly 1 million followers on TikTok. She's got some great brand deals in place. And the reason I wanted to show you this one is just because if you can stop the scroll with a micro show, you need to learn how to do it like Missy does, because that was, like somebody wrote in there, that was a wild ride. They've got some other ones in there as well of like straight people making announcements that they're pregnant that are not going to be like PG-13, that are really funny. So if you want to give that one a follow, go check out Missy. The next one I want to go to is Trey Kennedy. You may recognize him. I definitely got some inspiration from Trey, but let me pull up one of his videos that's my favorite real quick. Just gonna pull this one up, and shout out to all the women in the audience who gasp at everything, because this one is for you, and I hope you guys enjoy it. This is just like a fun little one from Trey.
What? Oh, what? My package got here. Oh my gosh. Oh. Hey, oh my gosh, are you? Everyone stay calm. Are you okay? Are you okay, babe? Look how cute this little pepper is. Have you ever seen it? Oh my, oh. Why are you gasping like that? Stop doing that. What? What? Oh my gosh. Sarah just got engaged. Oh my, not while I'm driving. That's the what, are you the great Gatsby? Stop gasping all the time. It's dangerous. Oh my, you really need to calm down. It's not that big a deal. Seriously. Oh my gosh. That is huge. And you're about to not have a ring. I will leave you. Stop gasping all the time. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so go back to the presentation here. One of the things that I think Trey does a really good job of is just having an instantaneous like character. All he does is put this shawl on. Sometimes he does one with a scarf. He makes fun of like white women in the Midwest who get really excited about like pumpkin spice season, and every time he comes up on my feed, it's just instantly recognizable. Like he's gonna be doing this character. He also does another one with like a middle schooler where he puts like fake braces on and he says a bunch of lingo nobody understands and he gets into arguments with his mom. But look, the whole point of this is that characters work. Okay, they're it's not just like me saying like, oh, this is fun. This is like, do this. There's a lot of research, especially in the B2C and e-commerce world, talking about how there are higher brand recall metrics, higher market share gains, higher performance metrics for character-driven content versus non-character marketing initiatives. And if you guys think about it, it really makes sense. Characters are going to be able to disarm you. They're going to be able to bypass any sort of like resistance or skepticism. They're going to create curiosity and intrigue. And I bet everybody watching this right now has a character on some TV show or some movie that they can probably like recite lines from and that they can, recall in an instant. And this is nothing new, right? We know that mascots work, right? Probably a lot of mascots up here in this little banner image that you recognize from Geico and Frosted Flakes. And guys, nobody's doing mascots in B2B. Duolingo, I mean, Duo's like the only one. Hootsuite has a good one. Nobody's doing this. It's blue ocean territory. And I just want to go back to like what these all kind of have in common. And this is why I've been shedding my ego and having fun and getting into costume and breaking the monotony of B2B content. Instant visual recognition. I knew this worked when people started stopping me at conferences and being like, hey, it's the panda guy. Hey, it's Kyle the Rizzler, the ad dad, what's up? So I'm going to show you some of my characters, but it's predictable personality traits. It's if you want to have a good, memorable catchphrase, that's great. It's really coming down to using these characters in a smart way, though, which is social situation comedy, and it's taking relatable scenarios and connecting it with real audiences' experiences. And you can do that with any tool. And you bet your bottom dollar that brand recall is going to be higher for a webinar platform that has a funny character and a funny mascot than one who doesn't. And I can't wait to see what Goldcast is going to do with their characters because it's just going to be fun. But look, here are some of mine. I wanted to share some of them from my own TikTok that I've done. I'm going to pull up this one right now and share with you guys what I've got for you. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so this was a skit I did dressed up as the panda guy.
Excuse me, bro. You're excused. And I'm not your bro.
So this was a fun one too, where I got to like play a character for one of our competitors. And I think this was a smart way for us to approach competitor content, which can be like really difficult to do. So we just kind of like poked fun and had fun with them without like punching down necessarily on anyone. And then here was another one that I did. It's a lot of panda dog.
Here, I need to. Oh my.
Okay. Here was one I did. Hopefully you guys can see it with a Bob's Burgers soundbite.
Here, I need to. Oh my God! It's like looking in a mirror. No, it isn't, Gene. Who's Gene?
I already can't tell who's who.
Take that stuff off. Lynn, get in here and settle this. Don't call your mother Lynn.
Why? Oh, wow. Hey, whoa, travel size Bob. Aw.
Linda, you're encouraging him.
I need the bathroom. Oh, wow, this is confusing.
No, it's not. You're my family and I love you, but you're terrible. You're all terrible. I don't say that.
Well, that's all you say.
Here, I need to. Oh my God.
So that was that one. And then I'm going to pull up another character that I've done recently, kind of roped into what you see me dressed up here as today, which is the ad dad. This is a fun one.
The Super Bowl ads are on.
So yeah, so that's one, and then I'll just show quickly one more. Again, I want to show you guys examples so you can walk away from this being like, this isn't that hard. I can do this. And like that post got 13,000 impressions, 130 likes or something. And it doesn't take that long. It's not that hard, and it goes such a long way for brand recognition, brand affinity, brand recall, all of the B2B brand buzzwords. Let me show you one more that I've done kind of for my own personal brand and less so for like a specific company. But if you're somebody who's maybe a solopreneur or an entrepreneur and you're like trying to start your own business, this can be a really fun way to do that as well. And this is a character that I've started called Kyle the Rizzler, inspired by hanging out with my 15-year-old nieces who were using lingo that I just did not understand at all. And so let me go ahead and pull that up. This is where I do a website redesign where I am focusing on copywriting and adjusting the copywriting for a website. And
Golden Hour friends, it's your boy Kyle,
this was for Audience
the
Plus.
Rizzler, here to do another website Gen Z redesign. This time it's for Audience Plus. Let's take a look at this H1 right off the bat. Your audience is cooked AF, bro. That's going to stand out. And then with a little bit of a memo here about Audience Plus, got sis twisting ankles, sprinting to the comments on your owned media. Manifest, stack views, and convert, then run it back again, young bucks. Another area we really want to have an opportunity for some conversion rate optimization testing opportunities is in A/B testing these two CTAs, your primary and your secondary. So it's giving trauma and big Pisces energy. We think that's going to really land with the
Okay, so that's enough of my little skits and stuff. Let's get back to the presentation here. Yeah, the last thing I'll say is like, okay, I've shown you characters to me. I've shown you why characters work well. Now what? You've gone onto Amazon and you've purchased your stupid little costume. You've put together a skit and run it by a few people. You've recorded it. Shoot, you've even edited it. Now you've posted it. Okay, test organically first. This is my organic to paid strategy that I've used at every company I work at. And I think it's a really smart way to bridge sometimes the gap between the performance marketing team or the demand gen team and the brand team. So you've got somebody like me testing it out on their organic social, on their personal profile, if you don't want to, mess around with the brand profile. And then you're going to measure authentic engagement. And look, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I've done dozens of characters and many of them have flopped. Like I did an ad wizard one, wasn't funny, didn't really land. So I just didn't use that costume again, didn't bring that character out. Maybe one day, but identify the winners and then get with your brand team and say like, hey guys, we're running, a campaign. I made this ad with this character. It did really well on organic. Do we want to put some budget behind it and just see if we can help increase, and then that way you've got some actual one-to-one, trackable, measurable attribution that you can bring to the table and say, look, this worked. Then you can scale it across platforms. And then look, the last thing I'll wrap up with here at the presentation is basically like, once you've done all of those steps, you've started posting stuff organically on social, you've started to maybe bridge the gap with the demand gen team and run some ads with these fun characters and these like skit-based comedy micro shows. You can also look into hiring comedians. A great example of this is True Classic T-shirts, the e-commerce company. They hired some really great comedians to run some ads for them and to create their ads, making them super memorable. In the B2B space, ClickUp is a really great example of this. They've done that as well by hiring a comedy duo. I think Chris Cunningham is getting like 5 million, 50 million, some crazy amount of organic views a month. And then the last thing is Fixer AI is also doing this. You can start with a contractor, bring them in 3 days a week and have them start creating some really funny paid ads for the organization. And you can do a lot. So yeah, I just want to do a final plug. If you connect with me on LinkedIn and send me a DM, I'm going to send you my character creator toolkit, or my micro show toolkit. I put together a Notion doc with tons of resources for you guys. And I want to make sure that I get you some goods I wasn't able to fit into this presentation.
Okay, gonna need that. So go ahead and write my name down for that one.
You got it, man.
Hey, look, Travis, we're over by a couple minutes, but there are some really good questions here. Okay, let's tackle two really quickly. I want to bring first one up here, which I think is especially relevant, right? What are some ways we can quickly learn to produce and edit high quality video without having to spend a ton of time or money on hiring or the tools themselves?
I think my favorite editing tool, and I'm biased, is Veed, veed.io. I find it just has everything I need. I've tried CapCut. I've tried Kipwing. But when it comes to like short form video content, I've just found it's the easiest to use. It's so much just like faster than using Premiere Pro, which is it's super useful. The other thing that I've done as well is find a couple people in the organization that you work at, and if you kind of notice, like if you end up becoming friends with them on Instagram, or you find out like, oh, they like make content on the side for fun. I've had this at every organization I've worked at. And then I get them into like a little Instagram pool or a TikTok pool. And I'm like, hey, can you like do a 30-second video this month, like mimicking this style? And people love it. And it's a great way to bring people in your organization. You don't have to teach them how to edit. They already know how to do it. So finding those people inside your org and then getting them an inexpensive tool is super helpful. Also, what's up, Taylor? Good to see you.
Yeah, I was going to say, Taylor, great question. Last question, we wrap up before we go to the next session here from Mike. How do you convince stakeholders to take risks on weirder, more unique content? I think this is a perfect way to sort of wrap this up.
Yeah, I think a good place to start is on your personal social media profile. Low stakes, and you can say like, look, if it flops and it really offends you, you can fire me and take, you have plausible deniability, like let me go. I think the other thing too is to pick and choose wisely. Like, don't do this at an organization that you're just going to be battling this with. Find an organization that understands the power of this, and you'll just have a much better time. And I'm not saying like, oh, go quit your job, but I would definitely recommend, it's just easier all around to work at a place that gets this. But starting with your personal profile, showing the results there, and then being like, let's run a test on some ads for a specific campaign. And then we can present that and say, you guys like data. The data shows this is working.
Love that. Yeah, it's great advice. Legendary stuff here, man. Legendary stuff. Travis, thanks for showing us how fun weird can be. And I think that's, honestly, we all need to tap a little bit more into that. If you're not willing to take risks, especially in B2B, you're just doing everything everybody else is already doing. No one's paying attention to you. Travis, you've a perfect example of that. Thanks for joining us. Guys, as we head to the next session, we're going to have Anand Patel and Courtney Cohen from Goldcast covering building your B2B show from first episode to full series. So we'll catch you in that next session, and we'll see you in a minute.